Hi, my dear viewers. Welcome back to my channel. This is Komal Rana, wishing you a happy, healthy, and successful life. In today's video, I'm gonna touch upon a very sensitive topic. You might have read it from the title of the video, and it this video is going to be really special to me because I will be sharing my personal educational and professional journey with you people, and in the end of the video I'll be sharing 5 mantras with you that will help you in making the right career choice in your life. How do we conclude that the career choice we made was right or wrong? By the outcome, success or failure. At least the people around you will judge your career choice on the basis of its outcome. People will give example of yours to others if you succeed in your life. And even if you fail, they'll still give your example for all the wrong reasons. Anyways, this is how society works. People will even give you advices of what is the right career for you, what you should do in your life, whether you ask them or not. Even your parents will tell you, for all good reasons, of course, that probably this career is right for you, or this is more demanding career, or this is what the family has been doing from many years, and this is the right path where you should take. But the question is, should they be deciding your career, or you should make the choice? Let me tell you my story. When I was in my ninth standard, my father told me that you should become a doctor. And I still remember what I answered him at that point of time. I told my father that, you know, I have come here to live my life, and I think doctors don't have that time available for themselves, for their family. They have no festivals, no day or night, as they can get emergency calls at any point of time. Of course, it is the most noble profession, but I don't want to be a doctor. I can see people in pain. The sight of the blood is the last thing that I would like to see in my life. So, I don't want to be a doctor. And listening to all this from the child was convincing enough for my father to believe that I'm not going to become a doctor. And around the same time, my mother also tried convincing me that, I think probably you should go for teaching. Teaching is a very good profession. And all because she was into teaching, and she believed firmly that for girls, for women in our country, teaching is the most noble profession. But I had another reason to say no to her, and I told my mom that I want to do something big in my life. I want to be associated with a good brand or a company. I want to sit in those fancy cubicles. I want to earn, lots and lots of money, have a good lifestyle, and probably all the best things that I have imagined my life for. And this is the reason I don't want to be a teacher. She smiled at that time. After my 10th standard, I had to decide whether I wanted to go for non-medical, medical, or commerce. Medical, for obvious reasons, was not on the list, and even commerce. I believed at that point of time that students who are willing to go into the banking sector or banking jobs generally opt for commerce, and it sounded another boring job to me. So yeah, and also in my school, most of it was it, it was that perspective that below average students take commerce, and I was a 90% holder. So the choice became obvious, and I took the PCM. non-medical stream. So during my 12th standard, my father asked me again, "Are you preparing for JEE exam? Will you be appearing for that?" And surprisingly for him, I nodded my head saying, "No, I'm not preparing for that." And he I still remember the look in his eyes, and before he could say something, I told him that, I told you I want to live my life, and IITians have nothing more in their life than studies, books, and exams. I want to live my college life, so I'll be going for other engineering tests, AIEEE, and state exams, but not IIT. As if IIT was willing to accept me or giving me admission that ways. Anyways, but I was sure I was not going for IIT. Now, what is the advantage of having, understanding and supporting parents is that you don't have to argue with them to prove your point. So it all went well. And during my 12th exam, I got to know from one of my friends that, for PCM students, there's an option to take admission in BArch, Bachelor of Architecture, other than Bachelor of Engineering or Bachelor of Technology. And there's an additional paper that you have to give for that. So I discussed it with my father. I told him, that see, my creative skills, and I'm very much passionate about interior designing and stuff. So why not give this exam and take admission in BArch instead of going for BTech? And that day, man, my father had a say. He told me that we live in a small city, and who do you think is going to get their homes renovated or designed by a professional like you? If we would have been living in a metro city, the situation would have been different. So his statement some way sounded logical to me, and I dropped my plan, prepared myself, and got admission in one of the reputed colleges in Delhi NCR as an engineering student. I was always a bright student, so studies never bothered me. At the end of the third year, I got the placement, while at the same time, my roommate, who happened to be my best friend, was preparing for GATE exam, the Graduate Aptitude Test. And it is only from her that I got to know that for taking admission into Masters of Technology or Masters of Engineering, one has to appear for that exam. So she told me that you can also try for this exam, and I told myself, what is the use of working so hard for all those nights and securing yourself a placement if you have to leave that and go back to studies? So I obviously smiled out, and I told my friend that you prepare for that. My life is set. Final year of my college has been one of the most amazing years of my life. Unfortunately, 2009 was a recession year. Most of the companies either revoked their offers or delayed their joinings. Even my joining was delayed for more than a year or so. So the option that I was left with was either I should go for off-campus placement, that was almost impossible at that point of time, and or I should wait for my company to call me back after a year or so. And the last option was to pursue my higher studies and get myself a master's degree in next 2 years. So I chose the later, but by then it was too late because GATE exam results was already out, and the only option that I had was to prepare for university specific exams. And through them, I secured myself a seat in one of the reputed government universities for my Masters of Technology. After I took the admission, I got to know that the GATE qualified students are getting scholarship from the UGC, and the scholarship amount was somewhere around 8,000 or so, almost double my pocket money. Wow, you get a scholarship while you are studying, so that was an amazing factor. And because of which I think most of almost all of the known GATE qualified students started preparing for the GATE exam so that they can get scholarship in next year. And one of my friends filled my form saying that, सब दे रहे हैं, तू भी दे ले. And to which I agreed, and I was like, what is the harm of trying it once? So that year, I was the only one in my class to qualify the GATE exam, though scholarship never came. That's a different story. But in last year of my masters, a few companies came for campus placements. See how destiny plays tricks with you. But this time, I I refused to sit in those desks, and I was like, छोड़ आए हम वो गलियां. Just kidding. Actually, by that time, I had already made up my mind that I want to pursue my career in academia. And the reason was all the things that I've heard from my friends who joined the companies regarding the corporate politics, the salary structure, and many other things. You know, all that influenced me to, make my decision more firm that yes, I want to go into teaching. My mother must have smiled that time. After all, after all these years, I was choosing teaching, which I undervalued so many years back. Life has its own strange ways of teaching you lessons. So, anyways, I completed my masters and it was all going as per my plan. I secured third rank in the university. It was all good. And my MTech supervisor, ma'am, she offered me that I should join a PhD under her supervision as my GATE score was valid at that time, and university was giving direct admission to net qualified and GATE qualified candidates. But I was so desperate to start earning, to get into a job, that I told my mom that probably this is not the time when I would want to pursue the doctorate or get into the same stuff again. I want to have a professional experience first, and then probably after a few years I'll think if I want to go for that or not. So yeah, everything was going perfectly fine. I got my first job in an engineering college in the state of Haryana, and with a decent salary. I earned about, my joining salary was 28,763, and better than what my friends and classmates were getting in the corporate in hand salary. So it was additional, happy factor for me, and I liked every single thing about my first job. I met some of the nicest people and brightest students. Some of you might be watching this. I left that job after an year because I was getting married and I had to relocate to Delhi. I even got a letter of appreciation from the management, which happened to be the first time in the history of that college, as told by my seniors. Anyways, so when I shifted to Delhi, I started applying for the engineering colleges as a lecturer, but there was no vacancy at all. And I kept trying, and then I realized that I should prepare for bank PO exam. Yeah, the same boring job few years back now sounded very fascinating to me. So I tried, I prepared, but there was no luck. And suddenly one day I got an interview call from an HR of a reputed university at Gurgaon, and that is the place that I've been working into from last 8 years or so. The kind of exposure I received and the learnings I had, I probably couldn't have elsewhere. So I've been having a very promising career if I accept the financial side. Just kidding. So the job satisfaction is what I get every single day in my job, and all because of the interactions that I have on an everyday basis with my students, This is the best part of my job. And believe me or not, the respect and admiration you got from your students is beyond comparison. But yes, you have to earn it. Everything was going marvelous until past 2-3 years when research tsunami came to India. When institutes got into the race of getting the international rankings, where research was an important component. And therefore, all the faculty and teaching members got into the race of writing the SCI papers, Scopus Index papers, research proposals, enrolling themselves into PhDs and whatnot. It became quite obvious that to grow in this profession, to have more incentives, better positions, you have to be a good researcher, even if you are or you are not a good teacher. Even I tried my hands on, I enrolled myself in PhD. I tried enrolling under the same MTech guide, but what was coming easy to me a few years back was not even approachable now. So I took admission somewhere else. I even have filed 2 provisional patents, so nothing bad. But I would say I didn't get the level of satisfaction in the research as I am getting and I was getting with my teaching experience, with my class interactions. Until one fine day when I had my soul awakening and I realized what I should be actually doing. This is me right in front of you. Now that you have heard my story, let me share with you the mantras that I have learned and the mantras that can help you in making the right career choice. Number 1. When in doubt, be sure of what you don't want to do if you are not sure of what you actually want to do. Number 2. People will give advices to you for your career, but reject everything that disconnects you from being who you are. No one else than you knows what is the right choice. Number 3. Opportunity doesn't knock your door twice, so be wise to either choose it or let go. Number 4. It is never too late to change your career. Don't look back at what choices you have made earlier, the credentials that you have earned, the efforts that you have put in to reach where you are. Look beyond the conventional professions. What you consider as a hobby can be a promising career for you. Number 5. Self-discovery is the critical factor that will help you to make the right career choice. If you haven't seen my previous video, please go and watch it. I'll put the link in the description box. And if you have watched my video on self-discovery, you will remember the 3 things that I asked you to identify. Your inborn talent, your never tiring role to play in your daily life, and third, your biggest happiness and satisfaction of life. Connect the 3 dots and you can make the right career choice for yourself. It is the one where you get to play your favorite role, be it talking, be it working on gaming consoles, anything. Where your inborn talent gives you a distinguished advantage over others in the same area, be it your IQ, your creativity, anything. And in the last, where you get the biggest happiness of your life every day. Every day. What are you waiting for, guys? Do make the right choice, and one of them is subscribing to my channel. Do it right away. And I see you next time.